Hello, 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 and welcome to Get Comfortable by Lizana-Prodeaux. I am the voice behind Get Comfortable. I have a message that is not typical of my usual messages, so bear with me. It comes from the first book of Samuel, and it is discussing the birth of Samuel, but the beginning parts and delving into his mother and his father. So it begins with describing the origins of his father, whose name is Elkanah. Elkanah is described as living in Ephraim, but being a Zophite. So he's not recognized as being an Ephraimite. So he has two wives. The first wife's name is Peninnah. The second wife's name is Hannah. Hannah is unable to bear children, but Peninnah has children by Elkanah. And even though Hannah is not able to bear children, Elkanah finds favor in her. So much so that when he does sacrifices, he of course feeds both his wives and children, but he always gives Hannah a double portion. He's always very concerned about her well-being, making sure that she's not extremely sad, because he knows that Peninnah is very mean to her, provokes her in a lot of ways because she's not able to have children, right? So after eating one evening, Hannah is very upset because Peninnah is described as being her rebel. I think that's what, her rival, and how she's always being provoked by her and just being treated unfairly. So she goes to the temple to pray, and in the doorway is Eli, a priest, and he sees Hannah praying. However, he hears no sound coming out of her mouth, but he sees her lips moving, and he accuses her of being a drunkard, or, somebody who has had a lot of wine. And she explains to him, I have not had any wine and I am not drunk. That is not so, my Lord. I am a woman who is deeply troubled. I have not been drinking wine or beer. I was pouring out my soul to the Lord. Do not take your servant for a wicked woman. I have been praying here out of my great anguish and grief. And Eli responded to her by saying, go in peace, and may the God of Israel grant you what you have asked of him. And so later that evening, her and Elkanah, they make love, and God remembered her prayer, and she became pregnant with a son who in turn will be Samuel, right? And so she goes forward and she dedicates her son to God, meaning that she goes to, she puts God in the forefront of whatever Samuel is to become. So the message that I have for someone is a few messages here. The first one is, if you are somebody who has been married, or you have had trouble having children, and it is your wish, your hope to have children, right? You will have children. At some point you will have children, whether that is with, of your own body, adoption, or a blended family between you and your spouse. Okay, so I'm going to say that again. You will have children. It's either going to be from your own body, from adoption, or as a blended family from you and your person, you and your spouse. And I didn't want to make that statement because I know how strong of a statement that is, which is why I don't know if it's in this recording or the one I started before this that I scrapped. I said that this is out of my jurisdiction, because I'm not one to really put something like this out. But if this message is for you, then you will have a child. You will be a mother to a child, I should say. You will be a mother to a child. All right? The second thing is finding favor. This message is it should be titled Finding Favor in Unfavorable Circumstances. There's a lot to unpack here, but I'm going to make it quick. you have been through a lot and still remain faithful through it all. And there's so many times that in your despair, you believe God has left you and he doesn't hear you. God has heard you. And the things that you're asking of him will come to pass. But when they do, please remember to, in turn, give those blessings back up to God. The same way that Hannah dedicated her son Samuel to God is the same way you need to return and use those blessings for good that uphold God's kingdom. Okay? The third message is somebody around you could really believe that you are delusional in your belief that God could bless you the way that you believe God will bless you. Okay? You're a believer. And people around you are intimidated by your beliefs, and they may believe that you're crazy. They may mistake you as being somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about, speaking out of context, accusing you of things that you have never done before, and just misplacing what it is that you're feeling and saying it's something else. For that, I say, keep going about things the way that you are. If you are an avid prayer warrior, that's fine. If people are threatened by that, that's okay. If you're a person who puts God at the forefront of everything and people don't seem to understand that, that's fine. We like to hear about people's blessings. We like to hear about people's triumphs. We like to hear about people's successes, but we don't like to mention that God is at the forefront of those things. So often we are in our cars, we are in our bedrooms, we are sometimes in our prayer closets, and we're really doubling down and praying over the things we cannot see, and things happening in ways that we have no idea how it is going to unfold. Things that look dark sometimes turn into the biggest blessing and the biggest light that you've ever seen. And when we get to those places, so often people forget all that it took to get them there. All the faith, all the courage, the strength, and the prayers, and the dedication to God, and God's dedication to you for allowing it to happen. So for that person who is misunderstood because they put God at the forefront and people don't believe that you are who you are or that you walk with God the way that you do, it's okay. It's okay. In a world where we forget God when we receive, you are tremendous in God's eyes, okay? And I'm sure that he will continue to bless you and give you everything that you want in due time. All right? So that is the message that I have for today. I pray that it was helpful for who it was meant for. Please, guys, I am so thankful for all the love. So if this message was for you or you feel like somebody else could benefit from it, don't hesitate to like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys to the moon and back, but of course, God loves you more. Please take care.